Hi guys, my name is Nonima Tigela. Welcome to my YouTube channel. So today I want us to talk about what happened in the Senzo Meyiwa trial this past week. Let's do a deep dive into what happened this past week in the Senzo Meyiwa trial and talk about everything in this video. Now, the first things first, né? Judge Ratta returned to chaos mode. We all know he's a chaotic judge. He's a chaotic judge, we know this. This past week will be remembered as the most chaotic week, number one. Number two, as the moment Judge Ratta crossed the line from adjudicator to active participant, triggering outrage across legal circles. Yep. What he did, interrupted and froze the defense case midstream while Advocate Mnisi was leading evidence, ignored the state's pending application regarding Gwabini's alleged statement. It also suddenly reopened the state case on his own initiative with no application, no request, and no procedural basis. Suggested calling the state witnesses himself, including investigating officers. Why is this explosive? Judges aren't allowed to invent issues not raised by any party, rescue the state when it is sinking, guide the prosecution to fix its own mistakes, bypass due process because they are curious. This shook the legal community. Many analysts called it judicial overreach of the year. That's what he did. Secondly, the greatest unresolved issue, the Gwabini statement. This one caused drama. The entire drama came because of this. The state wants to use Gwabini's alleged statement against Danzi, against Danzi, against the other accused, even though it's disputed, it's unfinished. We will say it's unfinished because we haven't seen it. It was never read on record. It was never proven. The witness was not allowed to complete testimony under the state's watch. Okay? And the defense argues, you cannot smuggle unproven incomplete statements into evidence. The state failed to prove authenticity, voluntariness, or admissibility. The judge must rule on the application first before doing anything else. But what did the judge do? What did the judge do? Instead of ruling on the application, he created a new mess, a new issue, and reopened the case to fix the state's gap. This is why lawyers are saying the defense may take this on review or appeal later. Thirdly, investigating officers under spotlight. Judge Ratta hinted he wants to call Brigadier Gininda, Abobuthelezi, Mukhane, maybe Mukhola, I don't know, possibly others, but the people that were there when Gwabini was arrested and beaten up. But wait, why is the judge calling Gininda? Gininda enters nowhere in this. Anyway, the purpose to fill in the missing pieces around Gwabini's statement and Danzi's alleged confession and Muzi Sibiya's alleged confession, etc. The defense says this is procedurally outrageous because these witnesses belong to the state, not the court. The judge cannot independently revive the state as witness list. It gives the appearance of the judge stepping in as a second prosecutor, a third, by the way. And then the other thing that happened this past week, Advocate's nightmare week, okay? Mnisi came prepared to lead clean, focused evidence. Then the judge ambushed him by halting his witness, pivoting a new issue, questioning him aggressively, putting him in a position where his trial strategy was publicly disrupted. And on social media, people called it the Mnisi ambush, the judge versus the defense show, a run of Mshololo's mistreated under Ratta, rerun of Mshololo's mistreatment under Ratta, because what he was doing to Mshololo, he's doing it to Mnisi currently. And 5, what this past week means for the future. A review or appeal is now extremely likely. If the judge continues on this track, mistrial grounds may be argued. Defense may seek urgent interventions in a higher court. constitutional arguments, fair trial rights will escalate. B, the state looks unprepared and reactive. The move this past week showed the state scrambling, no coherent plan for Gwabini, inconsistent position on the accused, reliance on the judge's interventions. Those are the things that we've been seeing. C, the trial is entering a legal war phase. What started as a murder trial is becoming a constitutional battle, judicial conduct test, national legal precedent moment. The week will be started, this past week will be started in law schools, I promise you. Oh yes, it will be. It will be started in law school. So what have we learned? Summary of what we've learned this past week, maybe this past 2 years, and 6 months, ne? Yes, and 5 months. The judge stepped into the arena. The state case is on survival mode. The defense is ready for war. The Gwabini statement is a ticking time bomb. South Africa is watching history unfold, and people are busy digging their own graves. Some people will see them in future orange overalls or even red if possible. But it looks like a lot is happening right in front of our very own eyes. A lot is happening. This past week was just dramatic in the sense of Meyiwa case. It did not just take a 10, it detonated, guys. It detonated because in a move nobody saw coming, not the defense, not the state, perhaps. We don't know when it comes to the state, not even the public. Judge Ratam Kgwatleng stepped out of the referee's seat and walked straight into the center of the ring. And what followed was the most chaotic, controversial, legal, shocking week this trial has ever seen. That's what we are dealing with. That is exactly what we are dealing with. The interruption shock that shook the nation. On a normal day, Advocate Mnisi was calmly leading evidence, building the defense case step by step, but suddenly everything stopped. Judge Rata interrupted the defense mid-testimony and turned the trial on its head. He didn't ask for submissions. He didn't wait for the application. He didn't even follow the state strategy. He created his own issue, 186. No, under the guise of Section 186. And he declared he might call new witnesses himself. This is something that judges do not simply do not do. And at that moment, South Africans watching the live stream went silent for a second or a minute. I don't know, but we were shocked. We were like, what's going on here? What is this now? What is Baba doing now? And Baba was like, I'm not playing with you, children. I'm not playing with you. I don't do that with you. And the Gwabini statement bomb is the problem here. At the center of the chaos lies a single document, Gwabini's alleged statement, an incomplete, disputed, never proven statement with questionable origins and massive implications. The state wants it in. The defense says it's unlawful. The law says it must be proven first. But instead of ruling on the state's pending application, the judge leaped into a completely new direction, reopening the state case to fix the hole left by its own failed strategy. Some people are calling it judicial activism. Others called it overreach. Many called it a disaster waiting to happen on appeal. And the judge's witness list of Gininda, I don't know where Gininda is coming for. Maybe he will explain when he's here. I don't know. But what I can tell you, Gininda is not coming for anything else but to fix Baloyi's mess that he could not fix himself. That narrative, Gininda is here to shape it. Gininda is here to shape that narrative. And not because this, all of this were happening, not because the state asked, but because Judge Rata personally thinks the record needs it. This is unheard of, right? A judge cannot resurrect the state case because he feels the evidence is incomplete. That is the job of prosecution. And in that instant, the line between judge and prosecutor became dangerously blurry. That is what Judge Ratta did there. That is what Judge Ratta did there. It wasn't just a dramatic week last week, guys. It was a legal earthquake because everything Judge Ratta did has direct consequences for the future. The defense may take this on review. The appeal records is getting thicker by the day. Fair trial rights are being questioned, and the legitimacy of the trial is under scrutiny. What happened this past week will be cited in law schools, quoted in legal journals, and remembered as one of the most controversial judicial moments in South African modern history. That is what is going to happen when it comes to this. I don't even think Judge Ratta realizes those things. And guess what? The war is just beginning. The Lord is back fighting, and it's not like he left. He was just giving people time to deal with their issues, but they decided they would do as they please. The trial is no longer about who killed Senzo Meyiwa. It's about judicial conduct, constitutional rights, and whether the entire process is still on course or completely off the rails. And this past week showed us anything. It's the real battle has only just begun. That is what this past week has showed us. Kuyaliwa manje, kuyaliwa manje, asidlali lana, asidlali lana, kuyaliwa manje, kuyaliwa manje. That is what we were watching, guys. I don't know about you, but it is what it is. If you want more of this drama and everything, please do stick around on my channel and make sure that you like, you share, you comment, and most importantly, please make sure you are subscribed. Subscribe if you are not yet subscribed. Watch the videos up until the end, please. It helps the channel to grow. We are already on 15,000K, and thanks to you for all of that. I could have never done it without you guys. I will see you on our next video. Thank you. Bye-bye.